Chapter 218, Revealing his prowess. A formidable aura suddenly exploded in the area, causing the surrounding air to seemingly solidify. However, the destructive force behind the leopard alligator king's charge did not diminish in the slightest. Meanwhile, a cruel and vicious glint glowed in its fiery red pupils. Boom boom! The ground trembled, causing everyone to swiftly awake from their stupor. As they turned to look at the formidable leopard alligator king, everyone's hearts violently jumped. With one hand grabbing onto his halberd, Lin Dong clenched his other hand into a fist, as a bronze-green color rapidly wrapped around the arm beneath his sleeves and a powerful and chilling aura emerged from within his body. Lin Dong was calm as he stared at the beast that was rapidly growing in his eyes. A series of air cannonballs flew towards him with a piercing howling sound. However, when they were several meters away from his body, these air cannonballs detonated in mid-air. From the looks of it, it was as if there was an invisible barrier protecting Lin Dong. Roar! The leopard alligator king's eyes were fiery red as it approached him. Evidently, Lin Dong's invisible barrier would not have any significant effect on the former's charge. Hence, the leopard alligator king's body did not even halt for a moment, as it directly ripped the barrier apart. Immediately, Lin Dong felt a powerful wind roaring towards him. In the face of such a powerful attack from the leopard alligator king, Lin Dong did not retreat at all. Instead, he suddenly took a step forward. However, the most surprising fact was that instead of using his long halberd to defend himself, his fist ferociously punched out. Bang! A punch exploded forth with a deep echo. Faintly, one could see a golden and bronze glow shimmering on his fist. To think that he is actually forcefully receiving the leopard alligator king with his fist. When they saw this sight, every member of the Eagle Martial Dojo was shocked. After all, even someone as powerful as Zhang Lei had to borrow the strength of his broadsword in order to contend against the alligator leopard king. Therefore, using one's fist to clash head-on against these beasts, who were naturally endowed with godlike strength, was an exceedingly foolish decision. Lin Dong ignored the numerous shocked expressions. Meanwhile, a dark green color erupted from his entire arm. Faintly, one could sense power surging within. Clang! In a flash, his bronze fist heavily smashed against the leopard alligator king's head, which was protected by a thick leather hide. Instantly, time seemed to have come to a standstill and a powerful shock wave, visible to the naked eye, immediately gushed forth from their point of contact. Bang! The soil on the ground soared upwards like several mud dragons, before they exploded in mid-air, turning into mud bits as they landed. Bang! Mud filled and danced in the skies, as the crowds suddenly heard an enraged roar sound out. When they turned to look, their pupils immediately shrank, as shocked expressions surfaced on their faces. At the spot where the mud fell, the gigantic leopard alligator king did not blow Lin Dong away as everyone had expected. Instead, it had been forcibly pushed back about a dozen meters by a formidable force. As its forehooves thrust into the ground, 4 deep marks were left behind. He actually deflected the leopard alligator king with a single punch. Everyone from the Eagle Martial Dojo involuntarily swallowed their spit, before they turned to look at Lin Dong, who had merely retreated 2 steps. In their hearts, a storm started to brew. Such formidable strength, is that fellow really human? Zhang Shui, who was behind Lin Dong, was similarly rendered speechless by this scene. Blowing back the renowned leopard alligator king with a single punch, even Zhang Lei could not accomplish such a feat. Go check on Little Union and the rest. Leave this beast to me. While Zhang Shui's mind was in chaos due to this scene, in front of her, Lin Dong suddenly massaged his wrists as he instructed her without turning his head. You, please be careful. Zhang Shui opened her tiny red mouth, and softly said in the end. Right now, she finally understood that this young man, whom she thought would be a burden, actually possessed such frightening strength. Lin Dong chuckled before he promptly turned to face the leopard alligator king, whose eyes were blood red. This beast was truly quite sturdy. Growl! The leopard alligator king, which was pushed back by Lin Dong's punch, stared maliciously at him. Suddenly, a light red glow appeared on its entire body. Thanks to this red glow, some of the spikes on its body actually began to extend and shape themselves into lethal blades. The current leopard alligator king was truly a killing machine. After its spikes extended, the leopard alligator king swished, as it ferociously dashed towards Lin Dong. A bloody smell rushed at his face, as he felt an extremely oppressive aura. As he stared at the leopard alligator king that was fiercely charging at him again, Lin Dong coldly snorted. The tip of his foot tapped against the ground, as his body swept forth. In midair, the ancient halberd in his hand suddenly danced, as it brought forth ripples of powerful Yuan power shockwaves. Clang! Clang! A resplendent golden glow erupted from the ancient halberd, before they turned into a series of formidable halberd shadows, which heavily slammed against the leopard alligator king's steel-like body, causing sparks to emerge. Humph! The leopard alligator king's body was extremely tough. Therefore, most ordinary form creation stage practitioners could not penetrate its defenses. However, it was different for Lin Dong, who possessed the ancient heavenly scales halberd. With the power of his middle-ranked soul treasure, the formidable halberd shadows directly left several half-inch deep marks on the leopard alligator king's hard skin, even causing dark red blood to flow out from some of these wounds. Fish scales halberd. A sinister giant fish violently swept forth, together with several formidable halberd shadows, as they viciously slammed into the leopard alligator king's body. Instantly, the number of wounds on its body visibly increased. The demonic beast, which seemed invincible to Zhang Shui and the rest, now looked to be in an exceedingly sorry state in Lin Dong's hands. Growl! After it was miserably beaten by Lin Dong, the leopard alligator king was clearly outraged. Immediately, its body began to shudder violently as a dark red glow suddenly gushed forth, and dozens of spikes abruptly exploded from its body. The resulting force was exceedingly formidable, and it could even match up to a low-ranked soul treasure. Evidently, the leopard alligator king had started to desperately fight back. Subduing golden platform magic palm. However, in the face of the leopard alligator king's counterattack, Lin Dong inwardly chuckled. His hand grabbed out, as a resplendent golden platform immediately materialized in midair, before it swung down and broke apart the dozen or so spikes. Then, without a drop in strength, it slammed against the leopard alligator king's body like a small mountain. Boom boom boom! Under the stunned stares of the crowd, the golden platform descended with a bang. Its formidable strength directly caused half of the leopard alligator king's gigantic body to sink into the mud. In the face of such a powerful attack, cracks emerged on that leopard alligator king's durable hide, as fresh blood flowed out. Roar! Roar! The leopard alligator king was evidently somewhat dazed by that blow, as it frantically struggled and roared. The leopard alligator king's roar clearly had a huge stimulating effect on the other demonic beasts. Immediately, their attacks turned increasingly vicious, as they leapt forward manically. This caused the pressure on the Eagle Martial Dojo members to surge. In fact, even Zhang Shui and the rest were forced to rejoin the fray and form a defensive formation. Little Flame. When he saw this situation, Lin Dong's eyebrows gently furrowed as he shouted out. Growl! When it heard Lin Dong's command, Little Flame, who was being carried by Little Yunyan, suddenly opened its eyes, and easily escaped from Little Yunyan's arms. A lighting glow erupted, and under the shocked gazes of Zhang Shui and the rest, Little Flame transformed into its battle form. With a loud roar, it leapt towards the demonic beasts. Lightning flickered and the python tail hissed, like a tiger inside a group of sheep. It stopped the demonic beasts. Zhang Shui and the rest stared at that previously demure-looking kitten, which had now transformed into a menacing and frightening beast. The facial expressions on their faces was extremely interesting. They had never expected that not only was Lin Dong powerful, even his pet was such a terrifying existence as well. You will submit. A golden light shimmered, as a golden platform formed from Yuan power, continuously hounded the leopard alligator king with a terrifying force, causing it to flee desperately, an extremely sorry sight. Roar! After it was viciously struck multiple times, even with its strong defense, the leopard alligator king could withstand it no longer. Instantly, it released an angry and helpless roar, as it then took off. When the leader demonic beast fled, the rest of the demonic beasts were clearly demoralized, and they quickly retreated. In a short few minutes, all the demonic beasts had left, and even the other leopard alligator king that was fighting with Zhang Lei finally escaped grudgingly, leaving behind a pile of carcasses. After the demonic beasts scattered, the pressure instantly dissipated, and several of the Eagle Martial Dojo members slumped on the ground. Evidently, the intensive battle had used up too much of their energy. Of course, while they were panting, their eyes all turned to look at the young man that was slowly floating down from the air. A feverish expression was burning in their eyes. This originally desperate situation was easily resolved by Lin Dong, and the formidable leopard alligator king was nearly beaten to a pulp by him. In contrast to the seemingly harmless image from before, his current battle god-like image made him seem like a totally different individual. Little brother Lin Dong, bravo! Zhang Lei kept the broadsword in his hand, as he stared somewhat peculiarly at Lin Dong. Right now, he knew that the latter's strength exceeded even his own. While he was bitterly fighting against the leopard alligator king previously, Lin Dong had already easily dispatched the other leopard alligator king and caused it to flee in fear. This showed the difference between the two of them. Words cannot express our gratitude. This time, our Martial Eagle Dojo owes you a debt. In the future, we will surely repay it. Gazing at Zhang Lei's solemn expression, Lin Dong could only smile as he nodded his head. Unless it was a truly critical juncture, Lin Dong did not want to reveal his strength. After all, it was always safer to leave some trump cards unknown. Thank you. A pleasant fragrance entered his nose. Lin Dong tilted his head, as he saw a beautiful and slim figure, and Zhang Shui's soft voice gently floated into his ears. Chapter 219, Great Wasteland's Ancient Tablet. Lin Dong was seated in the most luxurious cart in the group. With regards to the awestruck expressions of the Eagle Martial Dojo members, Lin Dong felt slightly helpless. Ever since he displayed his prowess last night, the gazes of these guys were no longer normal. Big brother, you were incredible last night. To one side, Little Union's large eyes were staring respectfully at Lin Dong. It seemed as if stars were twinkling in her eyes. You have repeated this dozens of times already. Lin Dong's face twitched as he forced smile at Little Union. Anyone who had heard the same words repeated so many times, would probably wear the same expression. Union, don't disturb Big Brother's rest. A slim figure slowly walked over, as her lily-white hands tapped Little Union's head. Contained in her voice was a trace of playful anger. Lin Dong lifted his head. Right now, due to last night's intensive battle, Zhang Shui's long hair was disheveled and there were some traces of blood on some parts of her exposed snow-white skin. Nonetheless, she did not seem hideous, rather, she gave off a unique charm. Lin Dong could tell that this lady truly cared about this dojo. Therefore, after he assisted them last night, the coldness that was usually on the latter's beautiful face had dissipated. Instead, a gentle expression took its place. As someone who did not doll herself up too much, even though this woman was not like Ling Qingzu, whose beauty could bring down kingdoms, she had her own unique charm. The two of them briefly glanced at each other, before Zhang Shui swiftly retracted her gaze. A faint blush surfaced on her beautiful face, before she promptly lowered her head and lightly retreated 2 steps. Haha, little brother Lin Dong, in half a day, we will have left the mist forest. Ahead of them, Zhang Lei was riding on his horse, as he moved towards the cart and addressed Lin Dong with a smile. After he witnessed Lin Dong's strength last night, his attitude towards the latter had changed. Even though Lin Dong felt helpless, in this great desolate province, strength reigned supreme. If it were not for the fact that he was too young, Zhang Lei would have probably addressed the Lin Dong as a senior. When he heard these words, Lin Dong gently heaved a sigh of relief. After all, he did not want to spend any more time in this god-forsaken place. Little brother Lin Dong, you came to the great desolate province due to the great wasteland's ancient tablet. As if he suddenly recalled something, Zhang Lei suddenly asked. Great Wasteland's ancient tablet? What is that? When he heard these words, Lin Dong was taken aback as he asked inquisitively. Oh! When they heard Lin Dong's reply, not only was Zhang Lei shocked, but even Zhang Shui, Wahen, and the rest were also slightly stunned as they stared at the former. Evidently, they did not expect that he had actually never heard of the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet. Cough. I only ventured out to train. Feeling uncomfortable under their gazes, he released a hollow laugh. Old brother Zhang, could you tell me what exactly is this Great Wasteland's ancient tablet? Haha, the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet is the most famous thing in Great Desolate Province. It is said to be a relic of an ancient sect. The Great Wasteland's ancient tablet had existed long before the Great Desolate Province. In fact, this province was actually named after it. At that time, the strength of the ancient sect was truly terrifying. In fact, they directly opened up an extremely vast space inside the ancient tablet. Not only are there numerous relics within, the UN power inside is also several times stronger than outside. If one trains there for one day, it will be as effective as training for 10 days outside. There are countless treasures in the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet. I have heard that people have obtained manifestation-level martial arts and secret arts inside. In fact, even Earth-rank soul treasures have appeared before. Manifestation-level martial arts, Earth-rank soul treasures. When he heard these words, Lin Dong was instantly moved. Martial arts were split into 3 categories, however, above upper category martial arts, there are even stronger martial arts termed as manifestation-level martial arts. This kind of martial arts possessed the strength to burn the oceans and split mountains. If one could obtain them, it would be possible for one to challenge those above one's cultivation level. With regards to soul treasures, usually they were split in low, middle, and high ranks. However, above high-rank soul treasures, there were even more powerful ones. Those were the reputed Earth-rank soul treasures and Heaven-rank soul treasures. Of course, soul treasures in these 2 categories mostly possess a spirit. Their powers were extraordinary, and even without anyone's control, they could display extraordinary strength. In the entire Great Yan dynasty, some powerful factions may possess Earth-rank soul treasures, however, with regards to Heaven-rank soul treasures, there were probably no factions who possessed any of them. Manifestation-level martial arts and Earth-rank soul treasures. These things were practically impossible to even hear of, or much less see in Tiandu province. In fact, these items would probably only appear in the Great Yan dynasty's most chaotic and vast province, the Great Desolate Province. If any one of these items appeared, it would cause an astonishing battle. If this so-called Great Wasteland's ancient tablet is truly so valuable, some major factions would have likely taken possession of it. A glint flashed in Lin Dong's eyes as he somewhat inquisitively asked. Haha, it's precisely because this Great Wasteland's ancient tablet is so precious, that no faction dares to claim it for their own use. In fact, even the Great Yan dynasty royal faction does not dare, Zhang Lei chuckled. Nonetheless, some factions have tried before. However, they all failed in the end. Some of the more unfortunate ones suffered great losses, while others even collapsed. Lin Dong was taken aback, however, he did not doubt these words. After all, the reason why no faction claimed it for their own use, was because they were not powerful enough to fend off the other factions. Furthermore, there is an extremely powerful seal on the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet. Even after thousands of years, it remains extremely formidable. Even a Nirvana stage practitioner cannot destroy it. A seal that even a Nirvana stage practitioner cannot destroy. Lin Dong was stunned. He had witnessed firsthand just how terrifying a Nirvana stage practitioner was. Even a mere shadow had easily manipulated Ling Qingzhou like a puppet. How was it possible that such a powerful individual was still unable to destroy the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet seal? This Great Wasteland's ancient tablet, what exactly is it? It sounds so magical. However, every 3 years, there will be a period of time when the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet seal is at its weakest. That is the best opportunity to enter and hunt for treasures. Therefore, every time this period approaches, countless elite individuals will flock to the Great Desolate Province. In fact, these elite individuals not only stem from the Great Yan dynasty, but also from neighboring kingdoms as well. Many of them will join in to test their luck and see if they can obtain any treasures. There is still about 5 months before the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet seal reaches its weakest point. During this period of time, there have been an increasing amount of people flocking towards the Great Desolate Province. This is the reason why I asked if you had come here for the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet. Zhang Lei explained. 5 months? Lin Dong rubbed his chin. Deep in his heart, he was somewhat intrigued by this Great Wasteland's ancient tablet. The reason why he ventured out this time was to increase his strength. Thus, if he was fortunate enough to stumble across something inside the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet, it would be much easier for him to catch up to Lin Langtian. Furthermore, I wonder if this Great Wasteland's ancient tablet is connected to the ancestral symbol. A glint flashed across Lin Dong's eyes. The Great Desolate Province was the largest province in the Great Yan dynasty. Hence, it was no mean feat to locate the ancestral symbol. It could be linked. Since this Great Wasteland's ancient tablet was left behind by an ancient sect, it may be related to the ancestral symbol. A long time ago, those fellows had a pretty good understanding of ancestral symbols. Therefore, even if you cannot find the ancestral symbol, you should obtain some information related to it. Inside Lin Dong's mind, little Martin's voice suddenly emerged. Lin Dong quietly nodded his head. Since this was the case, it was worthwhile to travel to the Great Wasteland's ancient tablet. Of course, there were still 5 more months, hence, he did not need to hurry. Haha, old brother Zhang. In this Great Desolate Province, are there any factions that I should take note of? I have just arrived here for the first time and it will be best for me to be cautious. Lin Dong suddenly asked with a smile. Based on your strength, you should not have any problems. Inside the Great Desolate Province, there are countless factions, like the fur on a cow's back. However, there are 3 major factions that you should take note of. Zhang Lei was silent for a moment, before he replied. These 3 major factions are the Ghastly Puppet Cult, the Great Devil Sect and the Martial Alliance. Ghastly Puppet Cult, Great Devil Sect, Martial Alliance, Lin Dong muttered to himself, as he committed these 3 names to memory. The Ghastly Puppet Cult is the most mysterious one. Like their name implies, they are proficient at manipulating symbol puppets. Their best disciples all carry symbol puppets with them everywhere they go and their strength is truly formidable. In the past, there was a sect that challenged them, which was ultimately butchered by numerous symbol puppets. In fact, even their 2 elite manifestation stage practitioners were directly captured and turned into symbol puppets. Those fellows are truly terrifying. Symbol puppet. When he heard this, a thought suddenly flashed across Lin Dong's mind as he recalled the symbol puppet inside his Qian bag. The Great Devil Sect, those fellows specialize in tempering their bodies and all of them are even more savage than demonic beasts. When you fight against them, once they close in on you, you will likely be a goner. As he spoke, Zhang Lei suddenly glanced at Lin Dong's arm. Evidently, he had recalled that Lin Dong managed to blow away the renowned alligator leopard king with a single punch last night. Immediately, he softly muttered, "Little monster." With regards to the Martial Alliance, they are an alliance formed by several martial dojos. The one leading them is the Heavenly Martial Dojo. In fact, its strength is exceptionally terrifying as well. Compared to the previous 2 factions, the Martial Alliance is the largest. Lin Dong silently nodded his head. The Great Desolate Province was truly incredible compared to Tiandu Province. In fact, the 3 major factions here could probably match up to the 4 great clans of the Great Yan dynasty. In the Great Desolate Province, there are several factions that maintain a low profile. Though they do not reveal their strength, some of them are exceptionally powerful. Even the 3 major factions dare not offend them easily. Sigh, the water here truly runs deep. Snakes and dragons flood this area. If you want to travel around, you must be careful. Zhang Lei quietly sighed. Lin Dong chuckled as he nodded his head. Before he spoke, in the Great Eagle City, the Eagle Martial Dojo should be considered as the top faction. After the casual chit-chat, Lin Dong already knew that the Eagle Martial Dojo headquarters was situated inside the Great Eagle City, that was near Mist Forest. When he heard these words, Zhang Lei's facial expression turned a little unnatural. Before he softly sighed, in the past, I guess. When he saw this situation, Lin Dong hurriedly changed the topic. As they talked and laughed, several hours later, they finally realized that the mist surrounding them had finally grown lighter. When he detected this change, Lin Dong secretly heaved a sigh of relief. It seems like he had finally left this mist forest. Chapter 220, Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo. When that warm sunlight broke through the mist and sprinkled on their bodies, the tired Eagle Martial Dojo members instantly released loud cheers. This was not the first time they had ventured into Mist Forest, however, it was their most dangerous trip. If it was not for Lin Dong's assistance, their entire crew would have likely met their maker in the god-forsaken woods. Lin Dong stood on the cart as he enjoyed the warm sensation from the sun rays shining on his body. A smile was on his face as he gazed at the horizon. He had finally arrived at the Great Desolation Province. Little brother Lin Dong, how about you follow us to Great Eagle City? This is your first time here, hence, it would be best for you to stay in Great Eagle City for a while and understand the geography and power distribution in the Great Desolate Province. Zhang Lei was evidently glad to leave Mist Forest, as he smiled and turned his head to speak to Lin Dong. When he heard these words, Lin Dong was silent for a moment, before he nodded his head. What Zhang Lei said made sense. Since this was Lin Dong's first time here, it would be unwise for him to run about randomly without familiarizing himself first. Instead of doing that, it would be better for him to follow them to Great Eagle City first and prepare himself. After seeing Lin Dong nod his head, Zhang Lei was clearly excited. After they rested for a while, they finally restarted their journey. A convoy loaded with loot traveled towards Great Eagle City. According to Zhang Lei, Great Eagle City was situated at the northeast area of the Great Desolate Province. Though it was slightly near the border, this did not affect the vibrancy of Great Eagle City. In fact, based on Zhang Lei's tone, Lin Dong could sense that this city could match up to even Tiandu City from Tiandu Province. When their convoy reached Great Eagle City, it was already close to night time. Lin Dong stood on top of the cart as he stared at the sun setting below a large city's contour, a look of awe flashing across his eyes. The size of this city was clearly far larger than Yan City. The Great Desolate Province was indeed legendary. Even a city near its borders was this magnificent. In this Great Eagle City, the Eagle Martial Dojo should be considered quite a formidable faction. As he stared at the approaching city, this thought ran through Lin Dong's mind. Even though there were less than 100 people here, he could tell that all of them worked extremely well together. Furthermore, they had plenty of battle experience as well. Evidently, the members of the Eagle Martial Dojo were fairly strong fighters. Since they possessed such strength, even though this was the Great Desolate Province, the status of Eagle Martial Dojo in Great Eagle City should be quite respectable. Under Lin Dong's gaze, the convoy slowly entered Great Eagle City. Based on how the crowds respectfully greeted Zhang Lei, Lin Dong knew that his previous guess was correct. As their convoy entered the city, they traveled along the wide roads for several minutes, before an extremely extensive and huge martial arts dojo appeared before Lin Dong's eyes. Dojo Master is back. There were several guards stationed at the dojo's entrance. When they saw the convoy, they immediately exclaimed in delight. Lin Dong began to feel the entire dojo turn heated, as swarms of black heads gushed out from the dojo, causing Lin Dong to be slightly taken aback. Compared to the Raging Blade Dojo in Qingyang Town, the Eagle Martial Dojo was indeed several times more powerful. When news of Zhang Lei's return spread, several individuals who seemed like managers immediately came forward. Dojo Master, you've returned. Those seemingly high-level members of the martial arts dojo immediately welcomed the group once they saw Zhang Lei, as they somewhat anxiously said. Upon hearing these words, the smile on Zhang Lei's face dimmed. Immediately, he waved his hand and instructed them to shut up. Tilting his head, he spoke to Zhang Shui, "Shui, take little brother Lin Dong to rest. Arrange the best room." "Father." Zhang Shui was rather clever and immediately detected the changes in Zhang Lei's expression, as she involuntarily asked softly. "Just go." Zhang Lei smiled, as he urged her. "Okay." When she saw this sight, Zhang Shui could only nod her head. Then, her beautiful eyes turned towards Lin Dong. "Young Master Lin Dong, please follow me." After she spoke, she immediately turned and walked towards the inner sanctum of the martial arts dojo. Lin Dong glanced at Zhang Lei, not saying another as he proceeded to follow behind Zhang Shui. Who is that kid? Senior sister is actually so polite towards him. Yeah, this is the first time senior sister has been so friendly towards an outsider. The martial art dojo members nearby were evidently shocked when they saw Zhang Shui's gentle attitude towards Lin Dong. A hint of jealousy tinged their voices. It seems like Zhang Shui held a pretty high status in their hearts. I seem to have drawn the rage of the crowds. As he followed Zhang Shui into the spacious martial arts dojo, Lin Dong chuckled. When she heard his words, Zhang Shui covered her mouth as she smiled. She seemed dignified yet alluring. However, Lin Dong could tell that there was a trace of worry hidden between her eyebrows. The status of the Eagle Martial Dojo in Great Eagle City should be quite high. What kind of trouble could it have encountered? Lin Dong suddenly asked. With regards to Lin Dong's question, Zhang Shui bit her red lips and hesitated for a moment, before she finally said, "In the past, the Eagle Martial Dojo was the strongest faction in Great Eagle City. However, in the past half a year, a foreign dojo known as Bloody Vulture Dojo arrived here. Those guys are extremely flashy and had several conflicts with our Eagle Martial Dojo. However, they are truly powerful. In all our previous conflicts, our Eagle Martial Dojo did not manage to gain the upper hand. Naturally, this helped to boost their ego, and this will hurt our Eagle Martial Dojo's reputation in the long run as well." Oh, Lin Dong finally realized why Zhang Lei's facial expression turned slightly unnatural when this topic was raised. "Young Master Lin Dong, we have arrived at the guest room. Please rest for today. Tomorrow, I will take you into the city and buy a great desolate province map and other items you need." Zhang Shui's footsteps gently stopped, before her beautiful eyes looked at Lin Dong as she said. "Just call me Lin Dong. Young Master, hearing it is so horrifying." Lin Dong chuckled. When she heard his words, a slight smile emerged on Zhang Shui's lips, before she promptly nodded her head and said, "Turn in early to rest." After she spoke, she turned to leave. Her beautiful and elegant aura caused Lin Dong to be a little dazed. Back when they talked in the woodlands, he never realized that this cold and stubborn lady actually had such a gentle side. "Let me rest first." Shaking his head, Lin Dong pushed the door and entered the room. With regards to the troubles plaguing the Eagle Martial Dojo, depending on the situation, and since he was being taken care of by them, he would assist them if necessary. After all, he was currently all on his own, and was several thousand miles away from Lin family. Hence, nobody could threaten him through his family. Furthermore, if he met a stronger opponent, he could always run away first, and return for revenge after he had become stronger. With regards to this matter, Lin Dong was very clear about it and was not ashamed at all. The next day, Zhang Shui was already waiting for him outside his room. Lin Dong naturally did not want to waste this beauty's time, as he hurriedly readied himself and walked out the door. While they prepared to travel to the city, they met little Yunyan. Since the little girl was clearly bored, she invited herself along. Zhang Shui was evidently unable to resist her little sister's charms, and allowed her to follow along after some pleading. Together with little Flame, who was in little Yunyan's arms, the three of them left the martial dojo and went to the bazaar in the city. At these kind of places, not only could one purchase all sorts of items, but all sorts of intel could be obtained as well. Naturally, one would need to have sufficient pure yuan pills. This time, Lin Dong did not require many items, and only needed some detailed maps of the Great Desolate Province. After all, he could not afford to waste too much time in Great Eagle City. Hence, he must use this time to quickly familiarize himself with the geography and power distribution of the various factions in order to avoid stumbling into danger. After wandering in the city for a while, Lin Dong managed to purchase all the items that he needed, and did not plan to linger on any further. As for other items like elixir pills, soul treasures, etc., he could not be bothered with them and naturally did not plan to spend any money on them. Even though he could currently be considered pretty wealthy after viciously extorting money from the Di and Lu families. When they saw that Lin Dong had purchased everything he needed, Zhang Shui, who was leading the way, gently smiled and started to bring Lin Dong back. However, just as the three of them exited the bazaar, Lin Dong found that her footsteps suddenly slowed down. Immediately, he lifted his head, only to see a dozen men approaching them from a short distance to their front. On the front of their breast pockets was the badge of a martial dojo. Sewed on the badge was a blood-red vulture. Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo. When he saw this, Lin Dong's eyes slightly narrowed. Heh, it turns out to be Shui Yar. What a coincidence, the target of this group was evidently Zhang Shui, hence, they walked directly towards her. In the middle of the group was man holding onto a paper fan. He looked to be around 25 years old, and his facial features seemed slightly feminine, while a smile was plastered on his face, which caused others to feel uneasy. Leave. Zhang Shui's beautiful eyes coldly looked at that man, before she tilted her head and softly spoke to Lin Dong. Long time no see Shui Yar, won't you even greet me? The man let out a little laugh, as his eyes concentrated on Shui Yar. An undisguised light flickered deep in his eyes. A subordinate standing beside him also smiled, and blocked Zhang Shui's path. Luo Shan, get lost! When she saw this situation, Zhang Shui's beautiful face turned frosty as her ice-cold voice shouted out. Shui Yar, you shouldn't speak to me in such a manner. Oh, you should know our Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo has issued a challenge to your Eagle Martial Dojo. Your father will battle to the death with my father on the martial arts arena. Furthermore, let me tell you a secret. Half a month ago, my father had already made a breakthrough to the advanced form creation stage. Luo Shan gently waved the paper fan in his hand, as he softly said. Advanced form creation stage. When she heard these words, Zhang Shui's beautiful face immediately turned pale. If what he said was true, her father's odds for victory were practically nil. Haha, Shui Yar, you should know my feelings towards you. If you choose to follow me, perhaps your Eagle Martial Dojo can still survive. Luo Shan stared at Zhang Shui's beautiful and tempting figure. Based on his expression, it seems like he was staring at a poor cornered lamb with a gaze full of passion and hunger. In your dreams. Zhang Shui was so enraged that her body shook, and she gritted her teeth. Haha, you will come to me. Luo Shan laughed in an indifferent manner. His eyes turned to look at Lin Dong, who had been silent throughout, before he softly chuckled. Don't bring along this kind of shit in the future. I don't like it. Oh, bringing along Little Union is fine though. While he spoke, Luo Shan extended his palm, and rubbed Little Union's head, while a perverted glint actually glimmered in his eyes. Bad man. Little Union struggled with all her might to push away Luo Shan's hand, before she directly bit him. You. After being bitten by Little Union, Luo Shan's expression turned dark. With a jerk of his hand, a force flowed out and directly blew Little Union away. Bang! Little Union's body flew backwards. Just as Zhang Shui's facial expression changed drastically, a hand appeared behind Little Union and stabilized her body. You seem a little skilled. When he saw the identity of the person who had intervened, Luo Shan released a weird laughter as he said. Meanwhile, the dozen subordinates surrounding him laughed as well. Lin Dong glanced at Luo Shan. Without saying anything, he kept the items in his hands into his Qian bag, before slowly walking past Zhang Shui, leaving behind an indifferent voice. Cover Little Union's eyes. Lin Dong. Gazing at Lin Dong's back, Zhang Shui was slightly taken aback as she held on to Little Union. She wanted to say something, but could only swallow the words in her mouth when she heard Lin Dong's calm voice. After all, she understood that though this young man before her eyes seemed practically harmless, when he was angry, he would become extremely terrifying. Trying to be a hero. Luo Shan slightly leaned his head to one side, and stared maliciously at Lin Dong, who was slowly walking over. Promptly, he laughed and said, "Brat, you must be a newcomer at the Eagle Martial Dojo, right? Previously, there was a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner from your dojo that tried to oppose us. However, in the end, I believe that unlucky fellow lost an arm." Heh, it was all thanks to the generosity of young dojo master. Else, that fellow can give up on all thoughts of living. Beside Luo Shan, a man, whose whole entire body gave off a strong Yuan power vibration, smiled as he said. "This time, cripple 2 of his arms. There is no need to take his life." A slight smile emerged on Luo Shan's face, and contained within the smile was a cruel glint. "Yes." When they heard his command, the dozen or so subordinates at Luo Shan's side immediately responded in a respectful tone. Soon after, they turned and stared maliciously at Lin Dong. This time, they had 2 perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners, as well as several advanced Yuan Dan stage practitioners. With a lineup like this, they believed that they could easily cripple this ignorant brat before their eyes. This was evidently not the first time that these fellows had used their numbers to their advantage. Hence, they seemed exceptionally experienced as they slowly spread out and surrounded Lin Dong. At the same time, several varying Yuan power gushed forth. This place was just outside the Great Eagle City Bazaar, hence, the traffic in this area was quite high. Therefore, this event immediately attracted several onlookers, and several curious glances were directed towards Lin Dong. The Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo had a pretty terrible reputation in Great Eagle City, however, one could not dispute their strength. Previously, most people who dared to challenge them would not end up with a pleasant fate. Thus, most of them did not expect that today, a youngster who was barely 20 years old would actually have this kind of courage. However, the outcome due to this courage would likely be an unfortunate one. An impulsive kid, that was what most people thought of Lin Dong right now. Luo Shan did not seem to mind the surrounding crowd. They were used to acting in a flashy manner. Even though the Great Desolate Province was considered to be part of the Great Yan Empire's territory, there were simply too many factions in this area, and even the prestigious name of the Great Yan Empire was greatly reduced in this area. Therefore, killing someone in the streets was hardly a noteworthy matter. Gently waving the fan in his hand while a gentle smile hung upon his face, Luo Shan somewhat gave off the aura of nobility. He lightly smiled as he turned to look at his subordinates, who were charging towards Lin Dong like a pack of evil wolves, while emitting vigorous Yuan power, and the smile on his face grew even wider. Bang bang bang! A low noise sounded out. Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, several sturdy-looking bodies were now bent like a shrimp's, while pained expressions filled their faces, and they violently vomited mouthfuls of blood. The smile on his face turned a little stiff as Luo Shan stared at the calm man walking towards him step by step. Furthermore, every time the latter took a step forward, 2 of his subordinates would vomit blood before they fell to the ground. Immediately, his eyelids began to twitch. "Kill him!" In less than a minute, only the 2 perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners remained standing. However, the malicious expression on their faces had turned into a look of shock. Promptly, they glanced at each other, before they gritted their teeth and delivered an all-out punch. Bang! Lin Dong's palm gently wrapped around the fists of the 2 perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners. With a gently squeezed, the sounds of bones crunching instantly echoed out. Next, without blinking, he flung the 2 of them a dozen meters away like garbage. When they landed on the ground, they had already turned into 2 piles of dirt. In less than a minute, all the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo members had become like the mud on the ground. Meanwhile, the surrounding crowds had turned much more silent. Right now, they finally understood that this young man actually possessed such formidable strength. "You are somewhat skilled. However, if you dare to touch me, the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo will definitely hunt you down. If you turn around and walk away now, I can pretend that nothing had happened. Luo Shan stared at Lin Dong, who was right before him. Though the fan in his hand was now trembling a little, his voice remained somewhat firm. Of course, he was trying his best to remain cool. He had never expected that the two perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners would be so easily dispatched by Lin Dong. The fact that he could accomplish such a feat made it very clear that the Lin Dong before his eyes should have already advanced to the form creation stage. This level was far from what an advanced Yuan Dan stage practitioner like him could match up against. So generous! Lin Dong looked at Luo Shan, as a shocked expression mockingly emerged on his face. Luo Shan naturally heard the sarcasm in Lin Dong's voice. Immediately, a reluctant smile appeared on his face. Promptly, his eyes darkened before he suddenly opened his mouth. A hair-like microscopic light beam swept forth and shot towards Lin Dong's forehead. Ding! The tiny light beam was lightning quick as it struck Lin Dong's forehead. However, it did not penetrate through as expected. Instead, it was deflected away as if it had hit solid bronze. After his attack failed, Luo Shan felt a chill in his heart, as his figure hastily backed away. However, just as his body moved, an emotionless Lin Dong appeared in front of him like a ghost. As he raised his hand, a bronze-like glow faintly flashed. Smack! With a tremendous amount of force, a palm viciously swung out, and under Luo Shan's shocked gaze, the hand unceremoniously slapped his face. Boom! That force behind that blow was enough to destroy a mountain boulder. Hence, Luo Shan's face immediately turned blood red, as all of the teeth in his mouth was shattered to dust, while fresh blood mixed with saliva was violently spat out. Moreover, under the shocked stares of the crowd, his body somersaulted several times in mid-air, before landing heavily on the ground, rolling dozens of times before finally coming to a stop. As they stared at that bloody and greenish-purple swelling face that was revealed when Luo Shan flipped over, the crowd's faces began to twitch. Soon after, they turned to stare peculiarly at Lin Dong. That slap was truly vicious, though Luo Shan would at least keep his life, his face was probably ruined. However, isn't this fellow afraid of retribution from the Bloody Vulture martial dojo? Some people were now muttering to themselves in their heart. Luo Shan was the son of the Bloody Vulture martial dojo master. Once he found out that Luo Shan had been beaten up so badly, he would definitely not let Lin Dong off so easily. Zhang Shui's lily-white hands covered little Yunyan's eyes. She was similarly shocked by how vicious Lin Dong was. Even though she was pleased that this fellow, whom totally disgusted her, had been beaten into such a sorry state, she quickly thought of the following consequences, the troubles that would come from Bloody Vulture martial dojo. Forget it, since we are already at loggerheads with the Bloody Vulture martial dojo, I might as well take this opportunity to relieve my anger. At this juncture, Zhang Shui had no choice but to console herself. Let's go. Lin Dong closed and opened his palm a few times, before he turned and told Zhang Shui. He could tell that the latter was somewhat worried. However, he did not speak any further. Right now, even if the Bloody Vulture martial dojo truly possessed an advanced form creation stage practitioner, he had no reason to fear. After all, he should be able to handle an opponent at that level. Oh! When she heard Lin Dong's words, Zhang Shui nodded her head as she grabbed little Yunyan's hand. The three of them turned and left free and at ease, leaving behind a bunch of half-dead fellows on the ground. When they returned to the Eagle Martial Dojo, Lin Dong went back to his room, while Zhang Shui went to find Zhang Lei with a heavy matter in her heart. In the study room, Zhang Shui stared at Zhang Lei, who seemed to have aged overnight. Her eyes turned slightly red as she softly said, "Father, the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo has issued a challenge to us." "Yes." Zhang Lei sighed, before he continued, "In 2 days, I will duel Luo Ying at the martial arts arena. If I lose, take Little Yunyan and leave Great Eagle City. As for the Eagle Martial Dojo, I am afraid that it won't be able to survive." As he spoke, Zhang Lei's heart was evidently in turmoil. The Eagle Martial Dojo was the fruits of his labor over all these years. However, right now, it was crumbling at his hands. "Father, it is said that Luo Ying has made a breakthrough to the advanced form creation stage. He will definitely kill you on the martial arts arena." Teardrops were swirling in Zhang Xue's eyes as she spoke. "There is no way I can refuse this challenge. If I refuse, the Eagle Martial Dojo will have no way to continue on in Great Eagle City. Furthermore, even at that time, the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo will still refuse to let us off," Zhang Lei replied. "But father is no match for Luo Ying." Zhang Lei was silent, not knowing how to reply. In the past, he was at most evenly matched with Luo Ying. However, now that the latter had ranked up, the possibility of him being defeated was indeed much larger. "Father, can we look for a helper?" Zhang Xue suddenly bit softly into her red lips as she softly asked. "There is no one who can contend against Luo Ying in Great Eagle City." Zhang Lei sighed. "What about Lin Dong?" Zhang Xue's lily-white hands gently tightened, as she softly asked. Lin Dong. When he heard her words, Zhang Lei was taken aback. Moments later, he finally shook his head and said, "Lin Dong's strength indeed surpasses mine. However, I am not certain if he can match up against Luo Shan. Furthermore, we do not have a deep relationship with Lin Dong. It would be inappropriate for us to ask for such a favor. In fact, we may end up putting him in a difficult spot and invoke his displeasure." "Forget it, don't worry about it. Father will handle everything. Go and rest first." Zhang Lei waved his hand, as he tiredly spoke. Zhang Xue gently nodded her head, and slowly withdrew from the room. However, just as she shut the door, a determined glint flashed across her beautiful eyes. Chapter 222, Beauty Offering Her Body. In the room, Lin Dong was seated on the bed with his eyebrows slightly furrowed. Beating Luo Shan to such a state felt a little invigilating, but also caused the situation to become irreconcilable. Based on how domineering and flashy the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo's methods were, Lin Dong's actions were undoubtedly provoking them. Hence, no matter what, they would not swallow this down. Advanced Form Creation Stage. Lin Dong's hand lightly rubbed his chin. His current strength was at the initial form creation stage, but together with his fourth seal symbol Master Identity and Bronze Thunder Body, he should have had the ability to battle against even an advanced form creation stage practitioner. Wang Yan should also have been at this level. Lin Dong recalled his initial exchange with Wang Yan. At that time, if had not been lucky, he would have been ruined at his opponent's hands. At that point in time, advanced form creation stage was way too powerful in his eyes, yet, that level was now within his reach. Of course, if one wanted to talk about battle power, Lin Dong did not believe that the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo Master could compare to Wang Yan. The secret art, martial arts, and soul treasures that Guy possessed were all top tier. If some martial dojo master was able to compare to the chosen son of the Wang clan, the geniuses of the Wang clan would seem too shabby. If the current me once again meets Wang Yan, I will definitely not end up in such a sorry state like before. Lin Dong's fist slightly clenched. Although it had only been a little over half a year, his current strength had grown significantly. Thud thud. While this thought turned in Lin Dong's mind, suddenly he heard a knock on his room door. Soon after, Zhang Xue's gentle voice echoed forth. "Please enter." Upon realizing that Zhang Xue had come to find him so late at night, Lin Dong was evidently somewhat stunned, before he hastily replied. Creak. The room door was pushed open as moonlight sprinkled in from the door crack. Soon after, an exquisite figure took small quick steps in, stepping on the moonlight as she walked into the room. Lin Dong stared at Zhang Xue who had entered, and was evidently somewhat dazed, as a slightly stunned look flitted across his eyes. The current Zhang Xue had clearly intentionally dolled herself up. She was donning a green dress covered in a purple garment, with a face that looked like a painting. Her skin was white like snow while her soft hair hung down about her slender waist. Furthermore, as she stood blushing under the moon's light, she seemed exceptionally beautiful and moving. While she was being stared at by Lin Dong in such a manner, the redness on Zhang Xue's pretty face stealthily intensified a little. She pushed the room door tightly shut, while a stack of neat and clean clothes were on her lily-white hands. "Miss Zhang Shui," Lin Dong coughed gently, feeling a little awkward. A man and woman together in a room so late at night, it was somewhat inappropriate. "These are clean clothes for you to change into." Zhang Shui placed the neat and clean clothes on the table. Her voice was gentle and her head was slightly bent downwards. Light shone on the pretty face that seemed as hot as fire. "Just let a servant girl send over these things. How can I trouble Miss Zhang Shui?" Lin Dong let out a forced laugh. Soon after, he gazed at Zhang Shui and said, "If Miss Zhang Shui has anything to say, feel free to speak." Upon hearing this, Zhang Shui's exquisite figure turned a little stiff. Her pretty face drooped a little, and she was silent for some time, before her soft voice rang out, "The Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo has issued a challenge to our Eagle Martial Dojo. According to the Martial Dojo rules, we cannot reject this type of challenges because if we do so, our reputation would be ruined. Hence, 2 days later, Father will duel with the master of the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo, Luoju, in front of everyone in the Great Eagle City's martial arts arena. This duel will determine the fates of both martial dojos. If Father loses, the Eagle Martial Dojo will face the crisis of being disbanded." A delicate fragrance flowed in the quiet room, bringing with it a faint intention. "Mother passed away very early, therefore, over all these years, Father was the one who brought me and Union up. Later on, we came to Great Eagle City and established the Eagle Martial Dojo here. This is fruits of Father's blood and sweat over all these years. If the Martial Dojo is disbanded, Father will definitely be unable to withstand this blow. I do not want to see my own father become a ruined man." Zhang Shui's teeth gently bit her rosy lips, as mist gathered in her eyes. Her gentle voice appeared very helpless and sad. "Thus, I hope that you can help us. I know that this request is very overbearing and it will even you in the extreme danger. However, I truly have no other option. Right now, Father is not Luoju's match, and he will definitely lose if he enters the martial arts arena." Lin Dong's expression was not overly shocked. Evidently, he had long anticipated Zhang Shui's request. "Young Master Lin Dong, if you are able to prevent the disbanding of the Eagle Martial Dojo, Shui Er is willing to be your slave or maid." Zhang Shui gazed at Lin Dong's calm expression before she suddenly took in a deep breath. Then, her lily-white hand gently undid the binding on her waist, before her dress slipped off. In a flash, a naked figure, that was as exquisite as white jade appeared in the tightly shut room. This sudden change straightaway caused the calmness on Lin Dong's face to be broken. He was somewhat dumbstruck as he stared at that perfect snow-white naked body before him. Zhang Shui's figure was tall and well-developed. Her slim waist was alluring and her skin was like snow or jade. Smooth, delicate and enchanting. Truly a top-notch beauty. Could you not use such a cliché? From a man's point of view, Lin Dong could not help but admit that this little lamb before his eyes possessed an allure that all men could hardly resist. However, he was not a person who would let lust control his mind so easily. Hence, he deeply breathed out, before he reluctantly turning his gaze away. Then, his somewhat hoarse voice sounded out. When Lin Dong's voice rang out, he heard an extremely soft sobbing noise. Immediately, he was slightly taken aback as he turned to look at Zhang Shui's face, only to find that the latter's long eyelashes were trembling while teardrops streaked down her pretty face before tumbling down. "I know that this is awfully despicable of me, however, I have no other way. If I am truly able to protect the martial dojo, even if I have to become someone's slave or maid, I am willing to do it. This is my home. When I was young, we drifted about homeless and miserably before. I do not want Union to go through that same suffering." Zhang Shui's voice was extremely helpless. Her character was a little stubborn, but when faced with reality, she could only opt for the most cruel choice. As he gazed at Zhang Shui's crying face, which appeared lovely and moving, Lin Dong softly sighed. He understood Zhang Shui's feelings because he had experienced them before. After his once spirited father fell into despair, it had caused his entire family to fall under a shadow. His hand grabbed the thin quilt and with one swift motion, he covered the perfect naked body, that would cause so many men's eyes to turn scarlet. Lin Dong stared at Zhang Shui, forcing a smile as he said, "Such a pretty beauty sending herself to the doorstep to be taken, I'm afraid any man will be moved. Though I am not a saint with no worldly desires, if I truly do as you wish, what difference would there be between me and Luo Shan? Moreover, after I beat up Luo Shan today, you only need to quietly pull strings to manipulate me opposing the bloody vulture martial dojo as well. Hence, why would you even need to do this?" Lin Dong chuckled and said. "If I truly use that kind of method, I'm afraid that you would have left immediately." Zhang Shui's lily-white hand gently wiped her face, as she softly replied. She was intelligent and quick-witted. Although they had not known each other for long, she roughly understood Lin Dong's character. She knew that this youngster before her was definitely not one that could be coerced. The more you forced him, the less you would accomplish. Lin Dong was a little astonished as he looked at Zhang Shui. This woman was rather sharp indeed. "Don't overthink things, you guided me out of the mist forest and were both open and honest to me. Since you treat me as a friend, Lin Dong is naturally not a cold-blooded person. The fact that I've made a move against Luo Shan today means that I naturally don't intend to stand aside and do nothing." Upon hearing Lin Dong's words, Zhang Shui's slightly misty eyes widened a little. Her lily-white hands clung onto the thin quilt on her body, before she seated herself on a wide chair to one side. Though the quilt was large, it still revealed her alluring curves. When he thought about the exquisite figure beneath the quilt, even Lin Dong's expression slightly twitched for a moment. It was truly a torment of sorts to converse under this kind of environment. Then what young Master Lin Dong implies, is that he is willing to aid our Eagle Martial Dojo. Zhang Shui gently bit her red lips. Her voice was a little hopeful and timid, as if she was afraid that Lin Dong would deny her request. "Sai, you're already at such a state, if I don't declare where I stand, there will be no way for me to walk out of the Eagle Martial Dojo alive. If those students find out that I've sullied the respected senior sister in their hearts, I wonder how badly I will be hunted down." Lin Dong somewhat helplessly said. "Pfff." When she heard this, Zhang Shui could not help but let out a stifled laugh. At this moment, the smile on her beautiful face was pure and enchanting, just like a blooming flower. "Put on your clothes first, else someone might barge in," Lin Dong softly coughed as he said. Could young Master Lin Dong close his eyes first? Zhang Shui's pretty face was blushed and her voice was so soft that it was barely discernible. "Didn't I just see everything?" Lin Dong blurted out on reflex, before he quickly shut his mouth. When he saw Zhang Shui's face, which had practically turned as red as volcanic ash, he let out a hollow laugh and hastily closed his eyes. As Lin Dong closed his eyes, a palpitating swishing of someone putting on their clothes sounded out in the room. Moments later, a delicate fragrance washed over him, and before Lin Dong could respond, he felt his lips being gently covered by a soft and hot lips. "Young Master Lin Dong, if you truly feel that my request is too burdensome, I will not blame you. I only hope that you will bring union and leave when that time comes. Thank you." That soft sensation disappeared in a flash, as Zhang Shui's soft voice rang in Lin Dong's ears. Quickly turning around, the door creaked, leaving behind a delicate fragrance as she swiftly disappeared under the moonlight. As the fragrance that lingered about his nose gradually dissipated, Lin Dong slowly opened his eyes and stared at the empty door while he softly sighed. It looked like he will have to intervene this time. Chapter 223, Luoju. When Lin Dong opened his eyes the next day, warm sunlight had already sprinkled in from outside the window, transforming into rays of light which illuminated the room. Lin Dong stretched his body, before getting off the bed. As his body moved, the low rumble of thunder emitted from his body. This was the unique sound of flesh and Yuan power blending together. As this sound gushed out, a feeling of vigorous power followed. Lin Dong casually executed a set of fist techniques to warm up his body, and only stopped when sweat could be faintly seen on his forehead. Soon after, his gaze turned towards the room door, as it suddenly gently opened, before Zhang Shui, who was carrying a basin, slowly walked in. Her bright eyes stared at Lin Dong, a faint blush lingering on her exquisite and pretty face. "You're up." Zhang Shui's voice was gentle, as she placed the water basin on the table. Then, she wet the towel, and gently wrung it with her jade-like hands, before offering it to Lin Dong. This made her look like an extremely obedient wife. Lin Dong was in a daze as he stared at her. After all, ever since he was young, he had never been so carefully waited on by such a beautiful woman. While she was being stared at by Lin Dong, the blush on Zhang Shui's beautiful face intensified. She lowered her head and softly said, all I can do now, is this." "Haha, thanks." Lin Dong smiled as he grabbed that warm towel, which still had a lingering trace of her fragrance. After he rubbed his face and wiped of the sweat and dirt, he awkwardly handed back that towel, that was now contained with some black marks, to Zhang Shui. Zhang Shui extended her jade-like hands, not minding at all as she received it. The gentle smile on her face was exceptionally warm. Even though this was the first time she had waited on a man, she did not expect that her heart would beat so violently. As he stared at Zhang Shui, whose head was now lowered as she quietly washed the towel, Lin Dong scratched his head. Perhaps he was mistaken, however he felt that the way Zhang Shui looked at him today was slightly different. This change seemed to have started last night. "There is no need for you to force yourself to serve me. I am not used to this. Even though we have only known each other for a short period of time, I treat you as a genuine friend." Lin Dong stared at Zhang Shui, and suddenly said. Zhang Shui was slightly taken aback. As she lifted her head, her beautiful eyes stared straight into Lin Dong's. Moments later, an enchanting smile emerged on her beautiful face. "Senior sister." Just as the room turned silent, an urgent voice was suddenly heard from outside. Zhang Shui hurriedly turned and left the room. Immediately after, Lin Dong began to hear some voices. "Bad news, senior sister. The Bloody Vulture martial dojo has suddenly brought their men and surrounded our martial dojo." Within the room, Lin Dong's eyes instantly narrowed a little. He stretched his back, and walked out of the room, smiling as he spoke to the now pale Zhang Shui, "Let's go and check it out." After he finished speaking, he immediately headed for the martial dojo exit. When she saw his actions, Zhang Shui's face instantly regained some of its color. She suppressed the fear in her heart, took in a deep breath and hurriedly followed behind him. Right now, the Eagle Martial Dojo had been tightly surrounded. The majority of these troops had the same badge on their chests. It was the symbol of the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo. Evidently, these men were from the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo. Of course, at every part of the Eagle Martial Dojo was filled with a huge amount of people as well. The gazes with which they looked to the guys outside was not a friendly one. Of course, everyone in Great Eagle City knew that the Great Eagle Martial Dojo and the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo were enemies, and both factions detested one another. Therefore, this hostile atmosphere was not odd. At the entrance of the Martial Dojo, Zhang Lei's was cold like frozen water as he stared at the swarming Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo members. Moments later, he finally spoke in an indifferent voice, "Dojo Master Luoju, are you in such a hurry to chase my Eagle Martial Dojo out of Great Eagle City?" "Zhang Lei, the issue between my Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo and your Eagle Martial Dojo will be settled in the martial arts arena tomorrow. The reason why I am here today, is because I want you to hand over the bastard that hurt my son." At the front of the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo troops, a middle-aged man was seated on a horse. His figure was quite slim and he wore thin clothes. He had a pair of deep-set eyes, and his facial expression was currently exceedingly dark, while a vicious killing intent filled his eyes. Evidently, he was extremely outraged. After he shouted out, several men behind him immediately carried out a stretcher. Lying on that stretcher, was Luo Shan, whose entire face was badly mangled. Right now, the latter still seemed to be in a coma. It seems like the slap Lin Dong gave him yesterday was not light at all. Zhang Lei glanced at the comatose Luo Shan, as the corners of his eyes slightly twitched. He already heard that Lin Dong had injured Luo Shan yesterday, however, he had evidently not expected that Lin Dong would be this vicious. Nonetheless, This beating felt really satisfying. The Martial Eagle Dojo members looked at each other, a similar joyous expression in their eyes. If it was not for the current situation, many of them would have burst out in laughter. Though they were able to control themselves, Luoju was still able to sense it. Instantly, his already dark facial expression turned increasingly fearsome. He stared maliciously at Zhang Lei, and solemnly said, "If you do not surrender that little bastard now, don't blame me for being ruthless." "Luoju, do you really think that I am afraid of you?" Zhang Lei sneered. Gripping his palm, his broadsword immediately appeared, as a powerful aura instantly exploded forth. "Haha, Zhang Lei, form creation stage. I am already at the advanced stage. The difference between us is growing increasingly larger. You dare to challenge me with your current strength?" When he saw this situation, Luoju laughed heartily, his tone clearly disdainful. "Try me." Zhang Lei's eyes were dark. Suddenly, his foot stomped on the ground, as his figure immediately dashed forth. His broadsword generated a formidable momentum, as it ferociously swept towards Luoju, who was seated on his horse. Courting death. When he saw this scene, Luoju's expression turned serious. His hand grabbed, as an exquisite warhammer immediately appeared within. Then, he slapped his palm against his horse, and his body soared upwards. His warhammer whistled through the air like an avalanche, lightning quick as it smashed against Zhang Lei's sword. Clang! A deep roar and a UN power shockwave exploded in midair. Zhang Lei's body was directly blown back by the impact, falling to the ground, and leaving a mark that was a dozen meters long. Hua! When they saw that Zhang Lei was at a disadvantage after the first exchange, the Eagle Martial Dojo members instantly released worrying noises. "Since you want a fight, I shall finish you off today." After his hammer smashed forth, a vicious glint flashed across Luoju's eyes. Promptly, without any intention of stopping, his figure flashed, and he swooped down like a vulture. The warhammer in his hand carried an extremely terrifying force and UN power undulations, as it viciously hammered down on Zhang Lei. Clang clang! When broadsword and warhammer collided, waves of sparks exploded, while waves of UN power erupted outwards like a tidal wave, directly causing several cracks to form on the ground. As they watched this intense battle, the troops from both martial dojos felt their hearts quicken, while they stared attentively at the fight. "Haha, Zhang Lei, you are still lacking. The difference between an initial and advanced form creation stage is not as simple as you think." The two of them exchanged blows, as UN power violently gushed forth. However, the warhammer was constantly suppressing the broadsword. Every time they crossed blows, the broadsword would tremble after being violently jolted. Meanwhile, fresh blood began to trickle down from the palm that was tightly gripping the broadsword. Clang! Another vicious exchange. A loud sound echoed out, as the broadsword was directly blown away. When he saw this situation, a vicious glint flashed across Luoju's eyes. Vigorous UN power undulated on the warhammer in his hands, as he immediately smashed it towards Zhang Lei's chest. Based on the might behind it, if Zhang Lei was hit by that attack, his entire chest would probably explode. Time to die. Luoju's wore a sinister expression as he slammed down his warhammer. However, just as the warhammer was about to hit Zhang Lei's body, a formidable strong wind suddenly exploded through the air with a piercing sound. "Who?" That sudden gale caused Luoju's face to turn cold. Instantly, he turned around as his warhammer viciously slammed against the formidable incoming gale. Clang! Sparks violently shot out. However, the outcome that Luoju expected did not occur. An exceedingly strong force was hidden within that gale, as it forcefully jolted his warhammer backwards. The massive force that gushed forth caused Luoju's heart to freeze. The warhammer in his hand danced, and shielded his body as he hurriedly retreated. Then, he raised his head, only to see that a young figure had unknowingly appeared in front of Zhang Lei. This figure was holding onto a long halberd, and faintly gave off a dangerous aura. "Little bastard, you have finally came out." When he saw this figure, a hideous glint instantly gushed up in Luoju's eyes. Evidently, he knew that the person before him was the one who had reduced Luo Shan into such a sorry state. If you are smart, cut off the hand that hit my son. Else, I will make you suffer till you beg for your own death. When he heard the hatred in Luoju's fierce voice, an icy smile emerged on Lin Dong's face. Chapter 224, Martial Arts Arena. Lin Dong. As he stared at the figure who suddenly intervened, Zhang Lei was stunned as well. Evidently, he never expected that the latter would suddenly appear. Immediately, he shouted out cautiously, "Be careful, Luoju is extremely powerful." Lin Dong gently nodded his head as he stared at Luoju, who was standing right in front of him. Advanced form creation stage, just his aura alone, was far more powerful than initial form creation stage. It's no wonder Zhang Lei, who was at initial form creation stage, would be driven to such a sorry state. "Dojo Master Luo, why are you so angry? Your son lacks manners and I merely helped you to educate him. The great desolate province is quite chaotic, if he had met someone else, they would have likely slaughtered him," Lin Dong casually chuckled as he said. "Heh, what an arrogant brat!" Luoju was evidently infuriated by Lin Dong's words. With a hideous expression, he said, "Who do you think you are? What qualifies you to educate my son? Since you like to teach others so much, then today, as your senior, dojo master will teach you ignorant brat a lesson." After he grimly shouted out, a exceedingly formidable Yuan power exploded forth from his warhammer. Then, he viciously slammed it against the ground ahead of him. Instantly, the ground cracked open, before an exceptionally powerful force, just like a mud dragon, ripped through the ground and lightning quick flew towards Lin Dong. As dust and rock flew forth, his attack seemed quite formidable. Snort! As he faced Luo Xiao's attack, Lin Dong coldly snorted before he solidly slammed his ancient halberd onto the ground. A hidden force similarly erupted from the ground, just like a golden lightning bolt, before it slammed against that mud dragon. Bang! When that mud dragon and golden glow collided, an exceptionally powerful Yuan power shockwave exploded forth. The impact directly ripped a thick crack on the ground. "You are indeed skilled." When he saw that his attack was actually so easily countered by Lin Dong, that Luoju's pupils shrunk. This outcome had evidently surpassed the expectations of several Eagle Martial Dojo members, as shock emerged in their eyes. Previously, based on the fact that Luoju had managed to overpower Zhang Lei, they knew that Luoju's ability had reached an exceptionally powerful stage. However, right now, Lin Dong could actually match up against him. Could it be that this youthful-looking young man ahead of them was actually more powerful than Zhang Lei? "Dojo Master Luoju, why are you so impatient? Tomorrow, in the martial arts arena, I will replace Dojo Master Zhang Lei and fight against you. At that time, feel free to use any tactics that you have. In fact, you can also use that opportunity to avenge your son." The ancient halberd in Lin Dong's hands was pointed to the ground as he stared at Luoju, before he suddenly laughed and said, "You." When he heard those words, not only was Luoju shocked, but troops from both Zhang Lei and Luoju's factions were taken aback as well. Snort! This is a matter between my Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo and the Eagle Martial Dojo. Who do you think you are to interfere in our matters? Luoju's eyes were dark as he coldly chuckled. "I guess I can be considered as a disciple of Martial Eagle Dojo. A new member too, right? Zhang old brother." Lin Dong gently smiled, as he tilted his head and asked Zhang Lei. "Ah! Haha, Lin Dong little brother is right." Even though Zhang Lei was somewhat shocked, thankfully he had good reflexes. Immediately, he began to laugh heartily, as his originally sunken heart was now being reinvigorated. He was never quite able to discern Lin Dong's true strength. Though this young man seemed quite youthful, his whole body gave off a dangerous aura. Even though he was not certain that Lin Dong could defeat Luoju, who was at advanced form creation stage, he knew that at the very least, if Lin Dong fought instead, he would have a much higher chance for victory. With regards to asking Lin Dong for help, he had thought about it before. However, since their relationship was not a deep one, he was afraid that his request may trouble Lin Dong and lead him to depart immediately. However, now that Lin Dong had voluntarily offered his assistance, he was naturally overjoyed. Standing outside the martial arts dojo, when Zhang Shui heard Lin Dong's words, her heart heavily heaved a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, her beautiful eyes fluttered as she stared at that young man holding onto a long halberd. Zhang Lei, after such a long time, this is the kind of helper that you find. Ha, so pathetic, a mocking expression emerged in Luoju's eyes. Based on the aura given out by Lin Dong's body, he could detect that the latter was at initial form creation stage. Hence, even though the latter was more powerful than Zhang Lei, he still posed no threat towards him. Therefore, if this was Zhang Lei's final trump card, then this Eagle Martial Dojo was truly an worthless existence. Alright, since you wish to leave the fate of your Eagle Martial Dojo to this little bastard, I shall grant your wish. At the martial arts arena tomorrow, I will make sure you understand that regardless who you send, the final outcome of your Eagle Martial Dojo will remain exactly the same. Luoju started maliciously at Lin Dong, as the savage expression on his face intensified. Little bastard, I shall let you live for one more day. At the martial arts arena today, I will crush every bone that you have into dust. Let's go. After he shouted out, that Luoju coldly glared at Zhang Lei and every member of Eagle Martial Dojo. Finally, he leapt back onto his horseback. With a wave of his hand, he led the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo members and left pridefully. As he stared at the departing Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo members, a cold glint flashed across Lin Dong's eyes. He could have directly engaged with Luoju right now. However, at that time, a massive battle will surely erupt between both martial arts dojos and this will result in several casualties. However, if he was able to defeat or even kill Luoju in front of everyone at the martial arts arena, then the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo's reputation will be ruined and their morale will collapse. In fact, several of their members may even try to sneak away. Hence, at that time, even without a battle, the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo will surely collapse on its own. Evidently, that was Luoju's plan as well. Else, he would have definitely not backed off so easily today. Even though Luoju's Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo was expanding steadily, if they truly fought against the Martial Eagle Dojo, they would suffer heavily as well. In fact, that was a price that Luoju could not afford to pay. Little brother Lin Dong, thank you for your assistance. Zhang Lei kept the broadsword in his hand, before he cupped his fists and thanked Lin Dong sincerely. Lin Dong smiled as he waved his hand. Then, taking a glance at Zhang Lei, he asked, Old brother Zhang Lei, are you confident enough to let me represent Eagle Martial Dojo and fight against that Luoju at the martial arts arena? What if I lose? I am already blessed since little brother Lin Dong is willing to aid my Martial Eagle Dojo. With regards to the outcome, it shall be decided by the heavens. No one is to be blamed. Zhang Lei solemnly echoed. However, if the worst outcome really materializes, I hope that little brother Lin Dong can take care of my two daughters. Zhang Lei hesitated for a moment, before he said. For the sake of what you just said, I can't afford to lose. Lin Dong shook his head helpless. Zhang Lei's words were more heavy than any pressure exerted. If he had to take care of Zhang Shui and little Yunyin, that was akin to asking him for his life. Turning around, Lin Dong stared at the spot where Luoju disappeared. Suddenly, he began to feel the blood inside his body boil. He knew that when tomorrow arrives, he will face a massive battle. Advanced form creation stage. Let's find out just how strong you are. The next day, when sunlight poured on Great Eagle City, the entire city seemed to heat it up instantly before countless individuals streamed towards the central location in the city. After all, everyone knew that there was going to be an earth-shattering battle happening today. The Eagle Martial Dojo and the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo were the two largest factions in Great Eagle City. Both of them have fought numerous times and each time, there was no clear victor. However, today will evidently spell an end to this stalemate. The martial arts arena was located in the center area of the city and it was extremely spacious. This was the most significant building in Great Eagle City, because this was often the place where the eventual overlord of Great Eagle City was decided upon. Right now, the martial arts arena's stands were filled with people. Everyone knew that the victor of this battle would become the next overlord of Great Eagle City. This was the most crucial battle between these two major martial arts dojo. After today, among the two major martial arts dojos in Great Eagle City, only one shall remain. It is said that Luoju has made a breakthrough to the advanced form creation stage. Thus, he should be much more powerful than Zhang Lei. It seems like this time around, the odds of the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo emerging victorious is quite high. That may not be the case. According to my sources, the Eagle Martial Dojo has invited a helper, who is quite powerful as well. It is reputed that he had fought against Luoju yesterday, and he did not lose out to him. Hehe, it seems like it's going to be an exciting match at the martial arts arena. The fellow that Martial Eagle Dojo invited looks barely 20 years of age. I wonder where that kid popped out from. Even though he is quite powerful, I doubt that he can match up against Luoju, who has trained himself through countless life and death battles. Indeed, a truly powerful elite cannot be forged from closed-door cultivation alone. Else, during a death match, he would surely lose out. Zhang Lei is no fool. He must have his reasons for making this decision. Anyways, it seems like this match will be an interesting one. At the martial arts arena's stand, countless whispering voices sounded out from the crowds. All of their conversation topics seemed to be centered around the match today. The Bloody Vulture Dojo members have arrived. Amidst all the whispers, suddenly, a large group of men arrived before they forcefully split the crowds apart and walked towards the spot closest to the martial arts arena. The Eagle Martial Dojo members have arrived too. After the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo members arrived, another large ground of men came in from another direction, before they stopped just below the martial arts arena. As both factions stared at each other, sparks seemingly erupted as the atmosphere immediately tensed up. Luoju's eyes swept maliciously across the Eagle Martial Dojo members just like a poisonous snake, before he finally stopped at Lin Dong's body. Immediately, the smile on his face turned hideous. It seems like he has already visualized the sight of Lin Dong's bones being completely broken by him. Luoju's feet stamped on the ground, before his body flew forth just like a vulture. Then, under the stares of the crowd, he landed solidly on the martial arts arena. Then, staring maliciously at Lin Dong, "Little bastard, it's not too late to kneel on the ground and beg for mercy." The attention of the entire crowd was swayed by his voice, before they turned towards that young man, who was leading the Martial Eagle Dojo. Immediately, several whispers echoed out. Evidently, they were shocked by the latter's age. With regards to their glances, Lin Dong chose to ignore it as he gently stretched his neck. Just as he planned to step forth, suddenly a slightly icy yet soft jade-like hands grabbed onto his arm. Promptly, a soft and sweet voice entered his ears. "Be careful." Lin Dong turned around, before he gently smiled at Zhang Shuet, who had a hint of worry between her eyebrows. Promptly, his feet tapped against the ground before he gently floated onto the martial arts arena. At the same time, his laughter echoed out. "I am afraid that you do not have the qualifications to make me kneel on the ground and beg for mercy." As he stared at Lin Dong's smile, the savageness in Luoju's eyes intensified. Licking his lips, an unconceivable killing intent and cruelty was clearly contained in his ghastly voice. "Little bastard, you have lost your final chance. Since that is the case, then prepare to die." After he finished speaking, a dark red yuan power immediately gushed out from Luoju's body, as a powerful aura swept across the entire arena. Chapter 225, Battling the Advanced Form Creation Stage. A powerful aura swept across the arena. Dark red yuan power enveloped Luoju's body, as an invisible pressure caused some of the weaker people to feel some difficulty breathing. Advanced Form Creation Stage. When they sensed the exceptionally powerful aura in the arena, several people's expressions fluctuated as a serious look filled their eyes. Even in the Great Desolate Province, one with this kind of power would be considered strong, and it would be extremely difficult to find someone who could contend against this kind of power in Great Eagle City. Luoju may be domineering, but with this kind of strength, no one could say anything about it. Of course, if he did not possess such strength, Luoju would not have the guts to be so insolent. Zhang Lei's expression was somewhat complicated as he stared at the spirited Luoju on the stage. The initial and advanced stages might only differ by a single word, but the gap between the two was fairly large. At least, Zhang Lei understood that with his current strength, his chances of losing to Luoju was over 80%. Father! Lin Dong should be able to beat Luoju, right? Zhang Shui lightly bit her red lips. Contained within her voice was a slight trace of worry. She had requested for Lin Dong to step forward, and if anything happened to him, she would never feel at ease ever again. Zhang Lei slapped his mouth, unsure of how to reply. He knew that Lin Dong's strength was also at the initial form creation stage. From the surface, Lin Dong was not Luoju's match, but in a fight, one's exterior strength was not an accurate indicator. Others might believe that even if Lin Dong was somewhat skilled, it was the kind of strength which relied on external factors. In a true life and death battle, this would be revealed in a few rounds. However, when Zhang Lei first saw Lin Dong, he had felt a kind of danger from the latter which originated from within his bones. At that time, Lin Dong was akin to a ferocious beast which had just burst out from the deep mountains. That ferocious aura was definitely not something that someone who only knew how to shut himself indoors and cultivate would possess. In fact, he even believed that this youngster, who did not look over 20 years of age, had experienced as many life and death struggles as old veterans like himself. If Luoju underestimates him, there will be a price to pay. Zhang Lei spit out a breath of air, before he slowly said. Upon hearing these words, Zhang Shui's tightly clenched lily-white fists loosened a little. Her beautiful eyes gazed at the young figure on the stage, which stood tall even under the pressure of Luoju's aura. In the face of this aura, he remained fearless, as a strange light flickered in his pupils. Is this the aura of the advanced form creation stage? Lin Dong's eyes slightly narrowed. He could feel Luoju's powerful aura, which was like a huge lake, as it spread out and enveloped his body. Pressure gushed towards him from every side. This kind of pressure could directly cause a Yuan Dan stage practitioner to lose the courage to fight. He had previously felt this aura from Wang Yan's body. At that time, he could only struggle for his life under that pressure. Yet, this level of aura was now unable to cause his body to feel even the slightest bit sluggish. This clear comparison allowed Lin Dong to understand that he was now progressively growing stronger. Sooner or later, there would come a day when he would reach the stage where he could contend against that favored son of heaven, Lin Langtian. The advanced stage is merely so. The corners of the youngster's mouth slowly raised at an angle as he softly said. Such arrogance! Lin Dong's soft voice evidently did not escape Luoju's ears. Immediately, his expression darkened as he sneered, before his foot suddenly stepped forth. Boom! Dark red Yuan power erupted in a blaze, as Luoju's body leapt into the air like a vulture pouncing onto its prey. He wore an icy expression on his face, as his fists suddenly punched forward. Booming heavenly hammer! Vigorous Yuan power exploded from Luoju's fists like artillery. This Yuan power swiftly gathered together before it directly transformed into humongous red Yuan power hammers. They gave off an oppressive aura as they ruthlessly hammered down on Lin Dong. As he gazed at the giant Yuan power hammers that were rapidly growing in his eyes, Lin Dong did not move into a dodging stance. With a flick of his mind, the 4 destiny soul symbols in his Nuan palace quickly started squirming, as waves of powerful mental energy gushed out, directly forming into a swamp-like mental energy defense around Lin Dong's body. CHCH! Giant Yuan power hammers shot into the mental energy swamp as their speed rapidly slowed. In the end, they hovered meters away from Lin Dong's head under the astonished gazes of the crowd. Mental energy! When they saw this strange scene, many people immediately cried out. The gazes with which they watched Lin Dong turned a little more serious. To have cultivated mental energy to such a degree, it seemed that the latter was at least a 4th seal symbol master. go! More and more giant UN power hammers came to float above his head. Moments later, Lin Dong's eyes flashed, as his finger pointed out. Mental energy rapidly spread out, as the floating giant UN power hammers suddenly turned around and flew towards Luoju. The sudden giant UN power hammer counter-attack clearly caused Luoju, who was still in mid-air, to be slightly taken aback. The tip of his foot thrust down, as UN power condensed beneath it, and he borrowed the resulting force to dodge and retreat. Boom boom! While his figure retreated, Luoju's fists once again danced in succession. Giant UN power hammers once again formed, and directly scattered the incoming giant UN power hammers. So he also cultivates mental energy, no wonder he is so arrogant. After the exchange, a sneer surfaced on Luoju's face, yet, the disturbance in his heart was not small. A youngster below 20 years of age that was able to reach the form creation stage was indeed a genius, but if he was also able to cultivate mental energy to a stage that was not weaker than his UN power, it would be a little terrifying. It was only now that Luoju finally understood why Lin Dong dared to challenge him with just the strength of the initial form creation stage. It turned out that Lin Dong also had the support of mental energy. This kid is going to be a little troublesome. Luoju's gaze slightly flickered. His hand suddenly grasped, as two scarlet-red war hammers appeared within. Light gleamed on the war hammers, giving them an extremely heavy feeling. From a single look, one could tell that their two war hammers were both soul treasures. Although they were only low-ranked soul treasures, they undoubtedly like adding wings to the tiger that was Luoju. To think that Luoju even took out his heaven and earth hammers, upon seeing the two giant scarlet-red hammers in Luoju's hands, a commotion erupted around the stage. It is said that Luoju had used these hammers to smash a form creation stage practitioner to death. Kid, I gave you a way out, but you refused it and insisted on interfering in the matters of Great Eagle City. Since this is so, I shall take your puny life today. There are countless geniuses in this world, the ones that die prematurely are mostly those like you. With these two hammers in his hands, Luoju's aura turned much more formidable. He sneered as he stared at Lin Dong. Soon after, his expression suddenly turned serious, as his figure flashed, before violently charging forward. Boom! Luoju's speed was extremely fast. In a flash, he appeared in front of Lin Dong. The two hammers in his hands were like two small mountains, as they exploded through the air and smashed towards Lin Dong. Ding! As the war hammers approached, the ancient halberd in Lin Dong's hand also violently thrust forward like lightning. It cleverly hit a certain spot on the war hammer, as a force suddenly erupted forth, slightly deflecting the war hammer. Swish swish! Taking advantage of that split-second opening, Lin Dong's expression was calm as his arm shook. The ancient halberd in his hands directly transformed into a dozen formidable halberd shadows which immediately surrounded Luoju's body, and attacked him. Clang clang! Faced with Lin Dong's concentrated attack, Luoju did not panic at all. Though the war hammers in his hands were extremely heavy, as the veins on his arms shook, UN power gushed on the war hammers, transforming into a UN power screen, which completely blocked the formidable halberd shadows. Bang! The two hammers slammed into the ground, causing the solid stone floor to split open. Two portions of dark red UN power were like fountains, as they shot out from under Lin Dong's feet. When they burst out from the ground, the tips of the UN power squirmed, as they transformed into sharp blades. Humph! In response to Luoju's sinister attack, Lin Dong did not dodge or escape. His legs suddenly turned bronze in color, before he furiously stomped on the ground. A powerful force and body directly shattered the UN power blades, before his body flickered and golden light burst forth, transforming into formidable halberd shadows which rained down onto Luoju. Clang clang! Atop the stage, two figures rapidly intertwined, as halberd and hammer shadows filled the stage. An astonishing UN power shockwave erupted from every clash, and this exceptionally intense exchange caused the blood of countless onlookers to boil. Bang! Yet another heart-palpitating UN power shockwave exploded outwards, as the two figures parted, each causing a dozen meters long mark on the ground. After an intense exchange, they seemed to be evenly matched. Lin Dong is so strong. As he watched the intense and evenly matched fight, Wahen remarked with a shocked expression on his face. Yet, Zhang Lei was a little excited as he nodded his head. The strength that Lin Dong had displayed had already exceeded his expectations. To one side, Zhang Shui's lily-white hands could not help but gently press on her chest, where her heart was beating violently. The thrilling fight had caused her heart to jump to her throat. Phew! On the stage, Luoju panting slightly intensified. His eyes now no longer held the mockery from before, and in its place was an extreme seriousness. Although Lin Dong's strength was only at the initial form creation stage on the surface, the battle power he displayed was already not even the slightest bit weaker than Luoju's. This duel had truly become quite interesting. Luoju licked his lips, as the grip on the hammers slowly tightened. Vigorous dark red yuan power curled around them like a flame. Faintly, an extremely powerful undulation seemed to spread out. Kid, no matter how surprising you are, it stops here. Luoju lifted his head, dark red yuan power frantically swirling in his eyes, as an extremely dangerous aura spread out from his body. To the side of the stage, as Zhang Lei sensed this aura, his expression instantly changed. Chapter 226, Devil Ape Transformation. Boom boom. Scarlet red flame-like yuan power was like a tide as it exploded from within Luoju's body. From a distance, it was as if he was wrapped up in soaring flames. Furthermore, as yuan power gushed out, Luoju's eyes faintly started to change. A dangerous beast-like aura flowed out from his body bit by bit. At the same time, Luoju's palms slowly expanded a little, and looked just like the hands of an ape, as they firmly gripped the war hammers. When he sensed the dangerous aura from Luoju's body, Lin Dong's eyes turned exceptionally serious. No matter what, the former was after all an advanced form creation stage practitioners, and Lin Dong could not afford to let his guard down. Moreover, the scene before his eyes showed that the other party was clearly using his true killing move. An advanced form creation stage practitioner's full power killing move. That kind of power was enough to completely destroy an initial form creation stage practitioner. Lin Dong, be careful. That guy is activating the Devil Ape transformation, which is an upper-class martial art. It can greatly increase the power of one's body for a short period of time. When Lin Dong's expression turned serious, Zhang Lei's shout swiftly sounded out in his ears. Devil Ape Transformation. Lin Dong's eyes slightly concentrated, as he stared towards Luoju's hands. Sure enough, he saw that the latter's hands had expanded by quite a lot. Veins looked like dragons as they squirmed, filled with vigorous power. Traces of dark red yuan power curled around the palms, and endlessly tunneled in and out of its pores. Kid, to have forced me to use the Devil Ape transformation, even if you are killed by me, you will have no regrets. Luoju's pupils had changed, and he now looked like a deformed devil ape. He directed a sinister smile at Lin Dong, and soon after, the sole of his foot suddenly stomped, as his body transformed into a red flash and swept forth. After activating this martial art, it seemed that this guy's speed had increased by quite a bit. Interesting. Upon seeing this, Lin Dong chuckled. As his feet tapped against the floor, a blade shadow emerged before he directly hovered in midair and avoided that menacing-looking red beam. Promptly, he gripped his palm, before a resplendent golden glow gathered in midair and directly materialized into a golden platform, that seemed to be forged from real gold. That golden platform hovered in midair as it gave off a sturdy and solid sensation, just like a mountain. This caused several people to be stunned, as they evidently did not expect that Lin Dong could actually create a yuan power golden platform. Boom! That golden platform solidified, before Lin Dong viciously slammed his palm down. Immediately, just like a mountain descending from the heavens, that golden platform viciously slammed towards that red beam. Snort! As he saw that incoming resplendent golden platform that overcast him, that Luoju coldly snorted. Instead of dodging it, he chooses to charge right towards it. At the same time, the boulder-like war hammers in his hands danced forth, before they violently smashed against that incoming golden platform. Clang clang clang. A deafening earth-shaking sound erupted in the arena, while streams of powerful UN power shockwaves exploded forth in mid-air. That violent clash caused several onlookers to be totally stunned. After executing Devil Ape transformation, Luoju's physical prowess evidently surged. In particular, his physical strength became extremely formidable. Combined with the two Warhammer's soul treasures in his hand, he became totally unstoppable. As he slammed down his Warhammers, even that golden platform was blown away, as cracks began to emerge on that golden platform. Such formidable strength! When he saw this sight, shock flashed across Lin Dong's face. This was the first time that he saw someone using his physical strength to counter against the golden platform. It seems like Luoju's Devil Ape transformation has its own unique perks. Right now, even he felt a little tempted by it. Haha, kid! Your martial art is quite impressive. After I kill you, that martial art shall belong to me. Due to Luoju's constant hammering, that golden platform was continuously beaten back. Meanwhile, Luoju's maniacal laughter emerged as well. It seems like just as Lin Dong was in awe of his Devil Ape transformation, Luoju was eyeing his subduing golden platform magic palm as well. Luoju clearly knew how strong he became after he executed Devil Ape transformation. However, right now, that golden platform could actually hold on despite his constant hammering. Therefore, if he could obtain this martial arts, within all advanced form creation stage practitioners, he would hold a pretty respectable position. That will depend on whether you have what it takes. Lin Dong coldly chuckled. Promptly, he jerked his palm forward, before that golden platform instantly retreated. Then, resplendent great sun thunder UN gushed forth, before it poured into that golden platform with a deep rumbling sound. Buzz! As that potent UN power gushed in, the cracks on the golden platform's surface immediately disappeared. Meanwhile, its size actually expanded more than twice. Furthermore, on its surface, one could faintly detect electrical sparks. Let's try it again. After he reinforced the golden platform, Lin Dong slammed his palm down once again. Then, that golden platform howled forth, just like a real mountain made of gold. In fact, it even caused the surrounding air to explode. Clang! As he faced that incoming golden platform again, Luoju did not change his tactics. Waving his war hammers, he pounded viciously against the golden platform. After a deafening noise, this time around, that golden platform was not blown back. Instead, Luoju was viciously blown away, before his body directly punched a several meters deep ditch in the martial arts arena. Boom! After he blew away Luoju, Lin Dong waved his palm before that golden platform howled forth once again. Then, it mercilessly flew towards the ditch, where Luoju was located at. Then, under the bewildered stares of the crowd, it directly buried Luoju below the martial arts arena. As they stared at that golden platform that stood right in the martial arts arena, the crowd was evidently silent for a moment. Meanwhile, the faces of the Bloody Vulture Martial Dojo members began to turn pale. Clang! However, this silence did not continue on for a long time, before it was disrupted by the sound of that golden platform being pounded. A ferocious beast-like roar echoed out from below that golden platform. Soon after, a dark red UN power, just like a volcano, erupted forth, before that terrifying force directly blew that golden platform away. When that golden platform was blown away, a red figure violently dashed forth. In a blink of an eye, it emerged above the golden platform, before the war hammers in his hands turned into a giant hammer shadow and viciously slammed against it. Bang! An extremely savage UN power immediately exploded forth before that extremely sturdy golden platform was once again covered by countless tiny cracks. Then, with a loud pop, it directly blew up. After that golden platform blew up, Lin Dong's facial expression changed. As he turned to look at the red glow, his eye began to condensate. Inside that red glow was still Luoju. However, right now, his body had ballooned to twice its size. Meanwhile, his limbs were extended, while faintly hidden on his face, was a subtle sign that he was transforming into a devil ape. Luoju's eyes were bloody red. Faintly, one could detect a savage beast-like madness. You actually managed to force me to this step. Today, I shall rip you apart. As the bloody red glow in his eyes flashed, Luoju stared menacingly at Lin Dong. His huge palms tightly gripped onto the two war hammers in his hand, while streams of savage Yuan power continuously gushed out from his body. He had actually changed to such an extent. When they stared at Luoju, who had almost transformed into a real devil ape, the crowds began to exclaim in shock. This type of body-altering martial arts was fairly rare and it was not easy to cultivate in them. However, most importantly, this type of martial arts tend to have quite serious sequelae, and it could easily cause one's appearance to turn demonic. Just like what has happened to Luoju right now. However, right now, Luoju has become much stronger. That kid is probably in real danger. As he heard the crowd's whispers, Zhang Lei's facial expression turned increasingly solemn. Standing aside, Zhang Xue's beautiful face was pale while she seemed to have bit their lips till they nearly bled. Clang! Luoju's banged the war hammers in his hand, before they released a piercing noise. As his blood-red eyes stared right at Lin Dong, the savage Yuan power that continuously gushed out from his body began to gather manically at his war hammers. Buzz buzz! As his potent Yuan power gushed forth, waves of circular Yuan power hammer shadows began to emerge from Luoju's war hammers. Meanwhile, a shocking and formidable shockwave began to spread from within. Herculean Devil Ape Hammer. The redness in Luoju's eyes intensified. A seemingly realistic devil ape's roar violently emerged from his throat. Then, his body turned into a red flash before he dashed forth, while the giant hammer shadows in his hands were filled with a terrifying force. In fact, all the surrounding air seemed to flee away from his hammers. Lin Dong, be careful! When he sensed how terrifying Luoju's attack was, Zhang Lei's facial expression changed drastically as he hurriedly shouted out. Huff! Lin Dong sucked in a deep breath as he stared at that incoming red glow. As he gripped his palm, the ancient heavenly scales halberd once again surfaced in his hands. This time around, Luoju's battle strength has exceeded his expectations. However, he was still barely able to deal with him. Even though I can barely execute it, it should be enough to deal with you. As he stared at that incoming red glow, Lin Dong gently smiled. Suddenly, he tightened his grip, before the intricate scales on his ancient heavenly scales halberd instantly flew off. Then, a resplendent golden glow gushed out. Growl! As that golden glow filled the skies, a dragon's roar faintly echoed out. Heavenly Scales Halberd Technique, Heavenly Dragon Halberd. As that golden glow filled the horizon, a dragon's roar echoed out. Under countless shocked gazes, a giant golden dragon materialized and emerged from within that golden glow.